How's it going, guys? Fraser here from Grimsmo, and today we're going to show you our brand new studio. So stay tuned, and we're going to do a whole walkthrough on everything that we did. Alright guys, so this is it. We will start with the camera, I guess. So we're shooting on the A7 III with a Sigma 35mm on it. We like this combo a lot, so we tend to use it a lot. And then we also have a Godox SL60W softbox grid combination, kind of right here, just on a C-stand. About 45 degrees away from the camera to give a nice Rembrandt light on your face, and I'll kind of explain that later once I turn everything on and show you guys kind of everything. The other light we have is over here, which is another Godox SL60W with the spotlight attachment on it. This is going to be our separation light, so this is going to have a nice fall off on our talent's shoulders and a separation from the background essentially. There is one more light hiding. We actually have it magneted on the chair here, as you can see. So this is the Aperture MC. So this is a bicolor, really powerful light that I can control from my phone. And essentially, we use this as a background light, so I can make this backdrop any color I want. I can light it or dim it however I want, if I want more separation or less separation. And then the backdrop itself is just this big cloth, like 10 by 12. Big sheet of cloth essentially. It's reversible, so it's got dark gray and then light gray on one side, which is really nice. And then there's these two little blankets here. There's one over there, and there's one actually behind the backdrop because there was a window here. And for studio lighting, we want the most controlled lighting we possibly can. So we blacked out the windows with acoustic blankets, and then that window ahead of us is actually the old shop like viewing window. So the shop is directly underneath that window, so it gets pretty loud. So there's actually a level of foam in between the window and that blanket, and then that blanket is actually just stapled into the wall. So every once in a while you hear a machine go, but it definitely helps dampen the sound in here. And then speaking of audio, we have the Rode NTG2. This is just a basic shotgun condenser microphone setup. It's pretty common in like indie filmmakers, at least this type of microphone. And we have it running just on a regular boom pole into a light stand. And right here we velcroed a Zoom H4n Pro. So the reason why we went with an audio recorder as opposed to just putting it right into the camera over here is because the H4n will have way better preamps and it'll give us a nice clean signal. And it just sounds better. It reduces the noise. We have more control with an audio recorder. Yes, we do have to sync it in post. That's not really a big deal if you know what you're doing and you have programs to help you do that. So that's where we get our clean audio. And if we sit down where our talent sits, you'll see this is kind of what they see. It's not very intimidating. You have the one light, you have the mic right above you, and then you have the camera right ahead. And that little screen there is just to make sure that I can see what I'm doing if I'm just doing this by myself. And then over here we have more gear, so I keep some SD cards here just in case, an audio kit right here, and this is where our top-down rig is going to be set up for now, I guess. So we have a little Manfrotto arm here, and our old little Canon M50 we used to shoot our videos on is here, and it's going to be our permanent rig. And then over here, we're actually going to get a custom-made table right in front of this red chair, in between the chair and the camera, and that chair will most likely change too, because red is very prominent. But we're getting a custom-made table, and essentially that table is going to have the top-down rig mounted onto it at all times, probably from that side, and then the mic will most likely go behind the camera into the same position, but just move the light stand so it's out of the way. This will kind of enable us to have 3 cameras going at once, which is nice. So we have our main camera here, which is the A7 III, the camera that I'm shooting on right now on a monopod with a different lens, which is the A6600 from Sony as well, and then we'll have the Canon M50 on a custom-made table right here, rigged on the Manfrotto arms. The one Manfrotto arm is unfortunately back-ordered, so we're just waiting for that right now. That way we'll be able to have 3 cameras going simultaneously, which is amazing, because then we have our main angle, where if someone's saying something impactful or talking right to the camera, we can show that one. We have my angle, which I'll be operating via a monopod and another tight lens. As an accent angle, and then we have the top-down angle if we want to do any pocket dumps or anything like that. So it's going to be really sweet. And I guess I can kind of turn everything on including the lights and the audio and everything, and we can flip to that and I can show you what it looks and it sounds like. So yeah, let's go check it out. So yeah, guys, this is it. This is our Grimsmo studio, and we're very excited to finally be able to put this together. We've been talking about it basically since I started here. I kind of always wanted a place to sit down and shoot some really controlled stuff and make things look very professional. And it's something that wasn't really able to achieve in the other shop just because of the space and the time constraints of moving and this whole new shop kind of thing that we've been dealing with since the first of the year. So now we're in a space where I kind of stole John's office and turned it into a studio. And we're really excited. It took a couple weeks at least of planning just kind of what gear, what lights, what backdrop, what everything we kind of wanted to do. And then things started rolling in the mail, and then we kind of started getting things piece by piece. And now we're kind of at a point where we're ready to film in here. And it's very exciting, especially for me. I come from a background where I love when I can control the entire outlook of our videos as before, where we're still going to do our run and gun guerrilla warfare type stuff downstairs in the shop, because we know a lot of you guys want to see that stuff, because that's where the stuff happens. That's where we make knives, that's where we make pens, it's where we have fun and sell things and just have a blast doing what we do. But the thing is that we do things full Grimsmo here, and that includes making our videos and the social media and stuff like that. We've been teasing this a little bit on Instagram, so if you haven't already, we have the official Instagram account that I help run with John and Eric and the boys here, and we update very frequently there. The stories are very immediate, and then this is the more polished YouTube side of it. But if you haven't already checked it out, check it out. There'll be a link in the description, and we think you'll really like the content that we have there. But we just kind of wanted to do a little breakdown on why we did this in the first place, and I can kind of show you what every light does and why we did things the way we did, if you'd like. So I'll kill the key light, the back light, and then there's a light, as you can see behind me. That's kind of the separation background light-ish. So I have an app on my phone here. You can see that it's actually changing color, and that's that little aperture MC that I showed you guys before. So we're going with like a little bit of a, I'll probably look at an ice blue, like the Norseman Rask ice blue, which is pretty sweet. And then if I turn the backlight on, so this is giving me the separation in my shoulder that I was talking about as well. It's also filling in the shadows in my face as well. And that goes a long way. And you can see where if I turn the key light on, where it's nice and bright, and it's got the nice Rembrandt triangle right here on this side of my face. But if I turn that light off, it kind of gets a little darker, and it kind of mushes me into the background a little bit more. You can get away with not having that backlight, but we have it, and it looks good. So that's kind of the basic 3-point lighting setup that we're using here. Now, again, we can change that backlight to whenever we want, and things are going to change a little bit when we get that custom-made table with our top-down rig. We're going to move a little bit of things around, but this is the static kind of environment that we're looking for, because we want to better get our videos out to you guys at a higher quality, full Grimsmo, and that's kind of the point of this video. So yeah, that's basically it, guys. We really appreciate you guys coming and checking it out, and we hope you like this kind of behind the scenes look that I was able to do. I asked John, I was like, hey buddy, like, do you guys want me to just film a studio tour? He's like, yeah man, do it, just get it out there. And so both John and Eric and I and everyone here at Grimsmo Knives are very thankful to be able to do what we do, especially in this capacity at full Grimsmo. And I'm very excited to be able to give you guys more content that is easier to follow, just sounds better, looks better, and that's kind of what we're striving to do here. So stay tuned for a lot more content. We have some special things coming up that we haven't really told a lot of people yet, and yeah, so this is it, and we hope you really enjoy it, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.